Hello to my Leos and happy Valentine's Day to my Leos. This is all about self-love, Leos. Let's get into it. Let's see what's in your cards. Let's see what's in your cards. Focusing on loving of self before you attract the energy for those of you all who want, Valentine's. Right. So happy Valentine's Day. Let's see. High vibrations only. That's it. High vibrations only. Okay, let's get into it, Leos. Let's get into it. Let's pull a number. We're going to see if we get some messages from the other side. See if your ancestors want to leave you any messages about vibrating high and what you should watch out for. Because sometimes you get messages, you're getting downloads from your ancestors, and if you don't know, you could think, hey, I can't find love in my area. There are no good men, no good women in my area. And that may not be it at all. It could be the energies that you're connected to other people's karma. So be very careful. High vibrations only. You could be connected to someone who is competing and comparing their ex and their this and that and such and such and such and such. You be tied to their karma and they're not ready to do the energy work. And it could be affecting you. There we go. 833, long game, right? All right. So somebody could be connected to a karmic who keeps talking. You could be connected to two karmics that just talk. So they're taking a long game. So this is a journey. Your angels are encouraging you to have faith in divine timing. The new balance habits have formed are not temporary. So they are meant to be implemented for the rest of your journey on this earth plane. Reflect now on how your mindset can shift to better accommodate your new routine. So let go of any timeline you may have had that is not attached to better habits you gained recently. Things will play out as they should. Things will play out as they should. Yeah. Slow down. Mars is currently retrograde. Mars is the energy planet of action and assertion, but it is retrograde. So this is where your prayer life wants. You want to increase your prayer life, prayer and meditation. You can put that energy into working out, whatever you want to put your energy into, something, but no impulsive moves. Right, moving forward. Just slow down because Source is trying to get you to a softer life. Moving in a softer life, right? Not just soft era, but a soft life, right? Just learning how to balance it out. Learning how to balance it out. High vibrations only. Slow down. Slow. So what lies beneath this? What lies beneath all of this? What lies beneath all of this? Somebody could have dealt with two empresses. Because the 3 card is Empress. 2 empresses in reverse that limited your abundance in the past. And they could have been karmics for you all. 3, and I say that because 8 is the Justice card. So somebody could have had some legal matters with 2 empresses in the past that could have caused you some legal matters, right? Yeah, some energies were just putting on a show. Yep, so these are messages from the other side. Source is saying high vibrations only. This is why you're slowing down and really paying attention. Yeah, caught, huh? So finding evidence, getting caught cheating. Maybe somebody cheated on you in the past. And I'm talking to men and women, right? So, of course, there's no judgment on this channel. Who you date, married to, whatever. Love who you love, right? Kicked to the curb. So somebody felt like they were kicked to the curb after they got caught. Expecting new beginning, right? So somebody may have had some makeup, and just said, okay, let's start all over again, Drama. Yeah, somebody is just tired of the drama, as you should be. And that's what Source is trying to tell somebody. It's like, do not leapfrog, jump into anything new. Yeah. And somebody has had to deal with the envy. You couldn't have any friends. I mean, just drama. So somebody's like, you slowing down. So, yeah. Somebody now knows that they messed up. Somebody from your past now knows. They're like, oh my God. Somebody now knows that they messed up. And you get messages from your ancestors on the other side. But, yeah. For them, it's game over. You ain't never going back. You can forget. They can forget it. So a situation is about to explode. Oh gosh. Stuff is about to pop off in flames. Oh boy. Yeah, so that's what Source is trying to tell you. It's like you're getting some messages from the other side, you're getting some downloads, and it's a long game. And they're like, oh, this what you want to play, because they're just about drama, and you're tired of the drama. So Source is saying, slow down. Mercury is retrograde right now. That's the energy planet. Some of your exes are trying to resurface in some way, shape, form, or fashion. They're saying that you're the one that's putting on a show. All of this, like I said, slow down. Slow down, slow down, slow down. Again, happy Valentine's Day. This is all about self-love. Self-love, self-love. Somebody is tired of the drama. Do not jump into anything new. Please do not jump into anything new for whoever is single. And if you're already with your person and the ex is trying to cause drama, just know it's because Mercury is retrograde. Mars is retrograde, which is a Tower card. And some people don't know where to put their energy. They could be putting their energy into prayer and meditation, or working out, or doing something productive, but instead they're in fight mode. So it's saying protect your energy. Protect your energy. Protect your energy. Yep, they're having a Tower moment. But so are you. You're having an awakening. This is Mars, the Tower card. Yep, and it's currently retrograde. So number 7 is situation within yourself in terms of being impulsive, right? Slow down. So it's just trying to get you in feminine energy. What's hidden in the Tower card is Scorpio, right? We're not talking about any Scorpios that you know, whether you like Scorpios or don't know like Scorpio. Find out, because Scorpios connect us to the 8th house, which is a house of transformation. And what Source is trying to get you to learn how to do is to transform, right? And be okay with feeling like you made not the best decisions in your past, with is around sex and around money, right? So toss that into a burning bowl. Like, you know what? I make peace with that. Didn't make the best decisions. There's nothing to be ashamed or embarrassed. Didn't know. The end. Toss it into a burning bowl. Source is saying it's time to just kind of slow down. Time to slow down. So some of y'all are already in your relationships now and still having to deal with exes just acting out. So toss it into a burning bowl. Leos, toss it into a burning bowl. So they still talking. Yep. You found your star. You found your star. Yeah. Let's see what else we got going on. Here we have, you're just working on yourself. You're working on yourself. Getting outside, getting some sunlight. This is you working on yourself. You're just working hard, slowing down. Something has come to light, right? And this is how you're recharging, by your ruling luminary, the sun. You are ruled by the sun, right? And so here we have this right here. Your abundance and your prosperity is growing. And then here we have the Empress card as the 3rd card. And so you're working on, you're learning the difference between a Empress upright and an Empress in reverse. That's what somebody is learning. So somebody is just slowing down, just working on self, and that's what you should be doing. Exactly what you should be doing. Yeah. You're learning the difference between light wolf energy and dark wolf energy. And you're just gathering information. So somebody is learning not to be stubborn when it comes to knowing your worth and knowing your value. So you're working on yourself. Yeah, you're working on yourself, just trying to align some things for yourself, right? The devil is in the details. Devil's in the details. Let your ruling luminary shine a light on who's chained to the devil and who's not. So you could have a lot of temptations around you right now. It's not a competition. This is you working on your own shadow self so that you don't get tied up into some drama in the future, right? So this is what I'm talking about, this right here, Pluto. Yeah, so find out where Scorpio is in your birth chart. Scorpio also, like I said, rules the 8th house, so that you can go through a very powerful transformation, so you can grow. If you want to align yourself with people who are going to grow your abundance and your prosperity, not limit your abundance and your prosperity, right? So like I said, the devil is in the details. There we go. So I definitely see you back in the saddle again. This is why you get back in the center stage, and some energies are like, dang it. dang it. I wish I would have gotten myself together. So, but yeah, that's not your problem. Somebody really wants to be in the spotlight with you. And because they're depressed, that's what they're motivated by, the money and the spotlight and the fame. And source is saying to you, you could be working for the government, and your ex could now know that you're in a leadership position. You and your person could be buying a nice house together, expanding your family. A new baby could be on the way, or whatever the case may be. And they could be looking at your life like, that could have been me. You know, like they're in the music video where the rain falls down in the background and they got their arms stretched out. Oh, okay. Maybe I was watching too many videos back in the day. But source is saying, yeah, but they have their own star to follow. They have their own star to follow. So you're back in the saddle again. Some things were already done behind your back. You've already made some decisions to cut some energies off. You're good. Your intuition has increased. The source is saying, stay right there in the pocket. Stay focused. Stay focused. You don't want to be connected to toxicity. You don't want to be, not with all the work that you've done. You don't want to be connected to that. You're free. You're free. You don't want to be connected to shady energies, people who see everybody as competition. Like, high vibrations only. You don't be connected to that. Shady this, shady that. Yeah, here we have. Yeah. Something just feels too much like, for you, it's like two energies, whoever these two energies are. They like money. They like the spotlight. They like doing stuff behind people's backs, getting people all riled up and putting people in survival mode just to create some kind of, anything to stay in the spotlight, any kind of drama to stay in the spotlight. So it's just like, they like being shady. It's just, like I said, high vibrations only. Using people as pawns, and then saying that people are, got a smart mouth and they argumentative. I mean, just, yeah. You feel like you hit the jackpot emotionally because you're slowing down. Slow down. You're having a tower moment, a total recall of some things. And so, like I said, in this right here, some people don't know how to use their fire properly. They don't know how to use their fire properly. They're calling everybody a narcissist. They saying everybody got low self-esteem. They saying, just gossip, just motivated by the wrong thing. So you're learning how to create a new, you're learning how to, something has been fulfilled. You're learning how to create a new legacy by enforcing boundaries. All right. Let's see what else we got. Let's see what else Spirit has for you. So somebody has new and exuberant love coming across their path. I love it, love it, love it, love it. This is great. So new and exuberant love could literally be, if you're already with your person, Leo, you could be looking at them again and just looking at them like, yeah, you could be looking at your person and just going, making a decision, saying that is your person, right? You're not worried about just like that superficial competing comparison, whatever mess, right? So yeah, so you're not, right? You've already made enough sacrifices. Right? Made enough sacrifices. High vibrations only. So, yeah, like I said, the devil is in the details. Something at this point for you should trigger you is to just like, you need to slow down for a minute. You need to slow down for somebody because you have new love coming across your path. And here was a devil card. Well, you see these two type of cards, devil card. So again, this is not calling anybody a devil. If you can use your mouth to call somebody a devil, you can also use your same mouth to call somebody they was an angel in your life too. So, right. So it's just saying to you, there's you could have dealt with two energies who are operating in a carnal mind, though. We're talking about metaphysically. Somebody, you could have been dealing with some energies who operate in a carnal mind. They can't get beyond, money and competition. They can't get beyond that. Like, for them, the labels and size of the homes and cars and stuff determines their worth and their value. So they got to be shady towards everybody, acting like everything is a competition. That is why Source is saying it's time for you to slow down. Time for you to really, really slow down and just saying, because some things are just depressing for you. You're too shiny. Too sunny disposition, bright. All of these other things. You've sacrificed enough. Yeah. Talking about people behind their back, that's just turn off. So again, emotionally, you're feeling like you hit the jackpot, right? So yeah, somebody is staying focused. This right here lets me know that you're not running away from anything. You're giving something for you, like you're giving the arguing a rest. Like arguing for what? That's literally giving somebody a piece of your mind. That's a form of spell work. Giving somebody a piece of your mind. What are you arguing about? People just be wanting to argue for just nothing. Yeah, somebody started an argument with you, saying somebody got a smart mouth. Let them say it to them directly. If they think they got a smart mouth, let them call them directly and say it to their face. Say it to them directly. They feel like, why they got to go through you? So, yeah. So, Source is saying, yeah. I see money coming across your path because you know what you have of value, and that is of self. That's what you're saying. You know, you are of value. You value yourself. Right? Like you know what your worth is, that you don't have to compare with anybody. So when people are starting arguing with you about somebody else, you're looking at them like, don't you know your worth? Don't you know your worth, and don't you know your value? Because you all don't really care what, high vibrating Leos don't really care what people think, and that's part of why people are so attracted to your energy. It's not arrogance, it's confidence, and just knowing, hey, look, you rule by the sun. You're ruled by the sun. So, yeah. But somebody is still arguing with you, trying to start an argument with you, saying that you running away from something. You running away from some kind of argument about something. I'm just trying to... Yeah. Anyway, I see you being more conservative with your time behind closed doors. I see you being more conservative with your time behind closed doors. But, yeah. Somebody could have a high vibrating Scorpio in your midst, a high vibrating Scorpio, helping you to go through a transformation to become more emotionally mature. If they're high vibrational, though. So that could be good news for somebody, because it could be actually adding to your psychic abilities, right? So that you have the depth of, like, okay, when you're dealing with people who are negative, who like to see people as competition, all they see is money, money, money. Somebody could be around you that's helping you to deal with the, not making poor decisions around money and around intimacy, right? And feel like, gosh, I made another poor decision, should have made a better decision, shouldn't have just hastily jumped into something, whatever. So that could be some good news, right? We're talking about duality here. But somebody is still, saying something, emotionally you feel like you hit the jackpot. Just slow down. For those of you all who want love in your life, slow down. Because you have an idea who's behind what. But you don't even want to waste your time with keep feeling like you're being baited into something and then being switched up on. You don't want to keep doing that. You don't want to keep doing that. Feel like you're being baited into something and then switched up on. You're back in the saddle again. Somebody has already decided, hey, you're there's some energies that you're just letting a backdraft happen. For real, you're just letting the backdraft happen. So something for somebody runs 5 generations deep, though. Like in terms of just like this competing and comparing. It runs 5 generations deep. Like somebody comes from a family of just all of this. They motivated by just money. They're motivated by money. They're motivated by creating poisonous environments. And that's why Source is saying some people a lot of people come from those kind of families. They're just motivated by money, what they can get. That's a lot of people, right? But Source is saying the reason why you want to slow down is because you could be attracted to somebody who you could have a relationship with their family and be like, this family is off the chain. That's all they care about is who got the biggest house, who got the biggest car, who has money, who has status, who has this and that. But your person may not be attached to that, because that could be karmic for them. They don't want to be roped into their karmic cycle, right? They may already made a lot of sacrifices already. They're not about just, of course you need, money is resource. All of these are resources, but Source is saying they may not have that same spirit. So you're just gaining some clarity of like what's really behind this competitive people saying this sibling looks better than this sibling. This one has more education than that one. This one's hair is better, longer, finer texture. This one has a lighter complexion, this color eyes. You're just like stuff that's so low vibrational and so superficial is just not even funny. And somebody is gaining, source wants you to gain some clarity, because if somebody could still be in this, they jump to conclusions without really slowing down in that divine feminine energy and finally saying, okay, well, they're not like them. I can see now why they don't even mess with them. They're not even around that type of people. They would rather, yeah. Some people would rather, like I said, they would rather be away from those energies. So the other side of this is the moon. And so it's like, okay, you may have believed something about some people in the past, about they all about money, they worship the devil, all of this other mess. But now you're starting to say, okay, now I'm seeing what spell work is. I'm seeing this competing comparison. These energies got this sacral solar plexus chakras, are out of alignment. So yeah, that's why Source is trying to tell somebody, slow down for a minute. Slow down. You'll see for yourself. You'll see. You will see. You'll get the physical evidence of something for yourself. Somebody is dealing with some bullies. Somebody is dealing with bullies. Yep, somebody dealing with some bullies who is stuck in a particular mindset about something, and that's all they care. So it's a group of energies. That's how they're wired. They just, like I said, cold-hearted, not sharks. So that's what somebody is learning, is that you're learning who Source is trying to help you, like, really increase your psychic abilities. That's what Source is trying to help you to learn how to do, is increase your psychic abilities. When you're around people who are emotionally immature and they are cold-hearted about it, but it's a whole organization that's behind it. Source is saying, Source is trying to help you sharpen your psychic abilities, right? So you can get to your throne and address your crown. Yeah, somebody is still talking about somebody got a smart mouth. That's toxic energy to say to somebody, what, they supposed to have a dumb mouth? Like Dumb Donald on Fat Albert? So a light is shining on somebody. Oh, a light is shining on something. So a light is shining on two situations here. Light is shining on two situations. So some light is coming to light is coming to something, right? Oh my goodness, about how, people lie behind people's backs. Right? About how people lie behind people's backs. So anyway, yeah, some energies were lying about somebody behind their back. So yeah, that's what Source is saying. Slow down. What you're in a rush about? What you're in a rush about? Like somebody got a smart mouth, whatever. Yeah. So anyway, so we got what lies beneath. We know what lies beneath. It was a bunch of drama before. Some people are just motivated by competing, comparing. They got the better of this, they got the better of that. They look better, they this and that. But I feel like I'm not talking to a superficial Leo at all. I feel like I'm talking to somebody who is psychic. That's what I feel like I'm talking. I talk to somebody who is psychic, not is just somebody who's looking at the outer shell. Somebody who is really, really learning their gifts. That's what I'm saying here. But you're hearing a lot for a reason. You're hearing a lot. People are creating a lot of lies for a reason. And what do they create lies for? They familiar with this. They familiar with that. So it's something that somebody is trying to keep you from, that you are is actually making you more curious, right? So Source may have you in the around a high vibrating Scorpio. Source could have you around a high vibrating Scorpio that is helping you to be more emotionally mature. Okay, so a high vibrating Scorpio is going to help you to stay focused. They're brave, they're faithful, they're ambitious, they're resourceful, they're very passionate. They can be stubborn, just on either side. They can be stubborn, right? Somebody who you can depend on as a friend, a true friend, versus a low vibrating Scorpio would be jealous, possessive, secretive, domineering, and restful, right? So yeah. So Source is saying, know the difference between the two, right? So behold beauty. When you insist that the world is hostile and others are your enemies, don't be surprised that it is so. So self-fulfilling prophecies fortunately work both ways, right? Behold beauty, right? So participate. Do not confuse intention with entitlement. The entitlement to demand from the world leaves you with nothing. The world is rich and so are you. So participate in it. So no pressure. When you want more, don't push yourself or others to get more. Give more of your pure, genuine self, and life will immediately, effortlessly match it. Right? And so the spirit of love. Don't search for true love. It will find you. If you just hold on to who you are, the world already loves your essence, so don't change it for anyone. What I'm looking at here in your cards here is, it looks like to me there are energies who, while you're trying to work on yourself, there are energies who are basically trying to create something that's really, really not there. In other words, it's like trying to create. So like I said, somebody has new love coming across their path, but you got energies that's trying to create something that's not there, as if you can't make your own decisions. Right? As if you can't make your own decisions. So it's just saying, sending you back to slowing down while Mars is retrograde. So stay true to yourself. The need for validation from others is an illusion. You are not responsible for how others perceive you, but it is your responsibility to stay true to yourself. Somebody is trying to make a very clear and concise decision about some things. If somebody is saying, that's what you have in common with somebody. Somebody has said that you have a smart mouth, as if you're supposed to be dumb Donald or dumb Don or Fat Albert. So yeah, so they may be mixing up some high vibrations on, well, we only want positive, high vibrations only. Yeah, because for them it's their way or the highway. But have they done the shadow work? And that's what Source is trying to tell you. It's like, yeah, you're back in the spotlight, the center stage again. So somebody is trying to control someone's fire. Duality. There it is. Duality. Yep. Duality. There's a light and dark side to everything. Right? So Source said that's everybody. That is why I'm saying to you all, take your super person cape off, because there are going to be some people that you won't be able to, they feel like, oh, you're always there for me. And the first time you say no, then you're the bad person, no matter how well your intentions are. So don't lose your vigilance, right? So yeah, duality. Everything is duality. Everything is duality, right? So yeah, many choices. So look at all your options. Many choices, opportunities around when you are in a dilemma. All roads lead to Rome, right? So you have many opportunities, many choices around you. Foresight. Be farsighted and alert. Pay attention to the things that are important to ensure wealth. Yeah. Star power. Become an influencer of the company and earn fame, popularity. Step into the spotlight. Yeah. So, yeah, somebody is almost, you got two emperor energies around you that are karmics. And you, like I said, you could have a Scorpio, a high vibrating Scorpio around you, that the reason why they're there is to teach you how to be more emotionally intelligent. High vibrating Scorpio, very different from a low vibrating Scorpio, but you could have a high vibrating Scorpio that's really, really just trying to teach you how to be more emotionally intelligent, and that's what you want to focus on. So yeah, but these energies who are competing and comparing are almost like they're competing and comparing themselves to you. So Source is just saying, yeah, they could be chained to their demons of being impulsive and jumping to conclusions about things without doing their own shadow work, the same as people have jumped to conclusions about them. So it's just like, that's not your issue, your problem. Create boundaries, enforce those boundaries, because everything is coming to light. Everything you need to see is coming to light. Again, happy Valentine's Day to everyone. Sending love and light your way. Yeah, you have an idea of who's behind what, but you don't want to waste your ideas on that. Let Source, you just slow down, increase your prayer and meditation life, and thank Source for clarity about everything that you've been praying for. And don't forget to keep a journal, because Source is saying you have all the information you need, and you're getting information while you're working on yourself, right? You're working on self, right? That is what I have for you. I'll see you all in the next video. Bye.